I've photographed dozens of weddings, both with and without first looks, so I know exactly when you should or should not do one. Let's decide in under 10 minutes if a first look is right for you. Hi, I'm Effie, an East Coast wedding photographer. If you're planning your big day or you're a wedding vendor who wants to help your couple decide if a first look is right for them, then this video is for you. So first, what actually is a first look? A first look is a private, planned moment with you and your significant other before your wedding ceremony. Usually we select a quiet location that is far away from the guests. One partner will face away, the other partner will walk up behind them, tap them on the back, and they will turn around and get to see each other in their wedding attire for the first time. It's super emotional and very sweet, and it also gives your photo and video team an opportunity to capture the two of you alone before the chaos of the day begins. So first, let's go over the pros of doing a first look. Pro number one is there's more time for photos. As a wedding photographer, I love this one. We get almost double the amount of time to do couples portraits and other photos than we would if you didn't do a first look. If you're someone who really cares about having a ton of portraits from your wedding day, or you want lots of variation on the types of locations where you do photos, then a first look is right for you. Pro number two is fresh hair and makeup. I don't think that a lot of people realize this, but when your hair and makeup is fresh, it looks the best in photos. That's why first looks are so popular, because glam has just been finished, you're getting to see your partner, and then you do all your couples portraits with everything looking perfect. Pro number three is that it calms the nerves. If you are someone who is anxious about walking down the aisle and seeing your partner for the first time in front of all your guests, then you should definitely consider a first look. Pro number four is that you actually spend more time together. The whole point of your wedding day is to marry your partner and be with them. But when there is no first look, you normally don't see your partner until the ceremony, which can be at 4 or 5 p.m. sometimes. Doing a first look allows you to see each other way before the ceremony and be together for your wedding day, which is kind of the whole point. Pro number five is timeline flexibility with light and weather. This is extremely important, especially if you have a winter wedding where the sun is going to set at 4 p.m. or earlier. Doing a first look guarantees that we'll have daylight for your portraits and also provides a plan B for weather. I always tell my couples that if it's cloudy on their wedding day, they should anticipate that it will start to get darker up to 30 minutes before the actual sunset time. Pro number six is that you get to attend cocktail hour. This is by far the most popular reason that people choose to do a first look. It allows you to actually get to spend time and mingle with your friends and family and not be taking photos right after the ceremony. A first look gives you the opportunity to do private vows with your partner. If you don't want to read your vows in front of all your friends and family, or you want to have a special letter read to your partner and just have a moment between the two of you, a first look is the perfect opportunity for that moment. So we went over the pros. Now, what are the cons of doing a first look? Con number one is that it breaks tradition. This is the most popular reason that people decide not to do a first look. I am someone who is sentimental and more traditional, and I opted to not do a first look exactly because of this reason. Doing a first look takes away from that traditional down the aisle moment, and it delivers a completely different experience. So just be mindful of that if you do choose to do a first look. Con number two is an earlier start time. If you decide to do a first look, you will most likely have to start getting ready 2 to 3 hours earlier in the day, because the timeline will be shifted to allow for photos and the first look to be done before the ceremony. It's just something to keep in mind, and not really a big deal if you don't mind. Con number three is less anticipation at the aisle. This goes along with the first point about tradition, but once you've already seen each other during your first look, there isn't as much anticipation when you're walking down the aisle to meet your partner. You've already seen them in their outfit, you've already exchanged a precious moment together, but for some people, they love that because it means it's less anxiety for them as they walk down the aisle. And don't get me wrong, it is still incredibly special and a completely unique experience walking down the aisle and seeing your partner for the first time. And con number four just has to do with logistics. If you have lots of travel time or different locations on your wedding day, having a first look can be a little bit complicated to schedule into your timeline. Also, organizing family to be on time and ready to go for family photos before the ceremony can be a little bit tricky to navigate. If you want to do something special but don't want to do a first look, here are some alternatives. Alternative one is a first touch. I love the idea of a first touch. It's basically when you and your partner stand around the corner of a building or a door frame and you stand and hold hands. You're not looking at each other, you're just sharing a moment and touching one another, which is really special and emotional. Alternative number 2 is a letter exchange. This is also incredibly popular. You can either have a letter delivered to your partner at the beginning of the day that they can read before they get ready. You can have it given to them during a first touch moment or other parts of the day, but it's very special because it's super personal and it still has a lot of emotion associated with it. Alternative number 3 is one of my favorites. It's a first look with one of your parents or your bridal party. Again, this is a super popular option and for a good reason. I recently had a father tell me after he shared his moment with his daughter, "Thank you so much for that," because he didn't understand how valuable it was going to be to see his daughter in her wedding dress for the first time ever on her wedding day. And it was just a really special moment that they got to share together. It's such a fun middle ground if you want to have a traditional down the aisle first look, but still want to have an element of surprise for your bridal party or your parents. At the end of the day, the right choice is the one that supports your wedding experience. As a photographer, it's my job to guide my clients to direct them what would be the best decision, but ultimately it's up to them. I hope this video was helpful. See you next time.